We're going to have some serious fun. What do you think?
I know we are.
All right.
It's inevitable.
Aloha, everyone. Hey, B, how you doing, B?
Good, man. I just missed the entry song, man.
Well, you know, speaking of missed, we've missed my good friend Duncan Mack
I
from
missed you guys too.
Yeah, from the Serious Fitness Fun fame, and also from your Manao Radio show.
Correct.
Get down with
Go on, watch your
and that was Logan, everybody.
My son, the cameraman.
Yeah,
Logan.
yeah. He's doing his thing over there on the stage, and we'd like to thank you for coming back.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back.
And,
Right, brother.
we got so much to talk about. B, remember the last time Duncan was here and we had a good time, and
we got deep into
all
everything.
kinds of stuff. But you know, this time is going to be even better because I've had a little practice and got a little better at manipulating my equipment.
What number episode is this for you guys?
Oh, we're like in
Oh,
the
man.
What are we doing?
In the 20s.
In the 20s?
Good for you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been so cool and so fun, and just being able to point fingers at people and our friends that are doing things on this island, and shining the spotlight on them, if you would, and hearing what they have to say. I mean, when me and B started this, B back in
October.
But, our first episode. That's when
I think when
the mayor had
the mayor and Eddie Van Halen passed away.
Yeah, not the mayor. No, the Eddie Van Halen passed away,
Yeah,
but the mayor
October 6th.
had reopened.
Yeah.
Maui, so that-
Yeah, it was about like October 15th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of people came through the doors, and we're so happy. And but I'm really excited about Serious Fun Fitness and what you've been up to, and well, what's been going on lately as of break it down for us. We know you've been there for a while, but with from last year March to now, what's going on?
Well, there was the big shutdown,
Yeah.
and that just sort of threw a wrench into everything. In January of last year, I'd hit my professional target. You know, the number of clients to see a week. Took me 5 years to build it up since I arrived on Maui, and the pandemic set that all back. But I'm about most of the way back at this point. Maybe certainly by the middle of the year, later in the year, I should be back to where I want to be, like paying all my bills and so forth.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
And I've been able to tap some of the government money just to catch me up.
Yeah.
Basically through the end of last year. So I'm not going broke. I'm not getting rich, but I'm not going broke anymore, which is nice.
Oh man,
We live in the equator, man, right in the center, man. That's it. That's
In the
it.
groove.
Right in the groove, man.
that's great to hear, because that's not the case with a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Every day when I get to the office and I would just open up the door to my studio, I give thanks that I'm still here and still in business, because there's a lot of people, like you said, who are just gone.
Yeah.
Totally gone.
They had to, yeah. Like, I think we talked about this was the kitchen.
Yep.
That's my friends.
kitchen.
Man, it was sad.
Yeah.
You know. But
And 808 mixed plate, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Went down, and just so many different places that have been here much longer than I have.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame. You see all the empty space. But like they say in Chinese, the ideogram for crisis also means opportunity. So hopefully we can focus on what the new things we want to bring in to all that empty space and so forth, the new things to build.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Because you study a lot of Lao Tzu and Confucius.
Chongsu, yep.
Yeah, and so do I. And I just I find that so interesting. And also, whenever there's kind of calamity or any kind of situation, that's there's some kind of saying in there that can bring some perspective
And comfort,
Yeah,
inspiration.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And in every culture and in every religion, I think that goes the same thing, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of grief. There's been a lot of loss. Not just human life, but human enterprises and so forth. And so it's important to feel those things, to embody those feelings and so forth, and have your grieving process. And then it's also important to get through that and then move on to the creative process and rebuild and guide the future in the direction you want it to be. So, for instance, the RiFF, you guys are creating the world you want to create.
We gotta have a different episode talking about all that, B. And, when we get around to it,
your anniversary episode in October,
our anniversary. But right now, so you're located at 381 Hukuli'i.
Yep, just off of Ohukai, up in Tesoro Estates. There.
Very familiar with that area. You pass by all the time.
Yeah.
And wow, man! I mean, I was looking through your Facebook and website. What a great view!
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get to watch the ocean all day.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday. It used to be the batting cages, Hitter's Paradise. It was right across the street, so they were kind of in the way. But they relocated to Kahului a couple months ago. Yeah. So now it's just me and the ocean. Well, actually, no, that's true. Carmart now parks all their spare overflow cars in that area. Okay. But I'm grateful for that every day too.
Yeah, but they don't block the view of the ocean.
Nope.
Yeah, you guys are up there, up on the second floor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's so cool, and it is always sunny on that side of the island.
Pretty much, yeah.
Most of the time,
when we're not having brush fires.
Yeah, and during that last what we call that, the last rain
deluge.
Yeah,
biblical flood. Even Kihei got rain. I was like, oh, it must be bad in Haiku.
Yeah, how did that go in Kihei? I haven't been there in a long time, but there's certain like flood. Like certain roads, areas, did that happen?
So much of Kihei is paved, it just all runs off, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so there's certain parts of South Kihei Road that just become impassable. Back in the old days, the area near the ABC stores and Ululani Shave Ice where Sudas used to be, that was so deep there that they had people, when there was a lot of rain, you had to park your car on the Kahului side, and someone would you'd pay somebody $1 to take you in their fishing boat across to where your wife was with the other car, or your buddy to drive you the rest of the way home, because South Kihei Road was the only way in and out back in the day.
Yeah. And now with the new hotel coming up, it's kind of crazy that the big island by Isanos.
By the old Maui Lu.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy, man.
Those are timeshares.
But where's the shopping mall going to be?
Oh, I think that's gonna be Mauka of Azeka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between Azeka and the highway.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been down that south side in a while, but I guess you're passing by there when you go and do your gigs, right?
No, just on the highway, but just once in a while, I just go to the front. It's like, wow, man, so much freaking changes, man.
I don't think those are timeshares, right?
Yeah. And so just the road, there's it's just different.
The incessant change.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a drone shot of that area that you guys are talking about. And
Yep.
I'm gonna put it in because I live here. I haven't been to Kihei, and I can't.
You got an electric bike, man. Why don't you just take a ride out there, man? He goes from across the street down to Market Street.
Yep.
I told him, you got an electric bike, go to Lahaina, come back, man.
Why not?
Yeah, man.
It's sunny on that side. You can always ride your bike.
So wait, hold on a second. We're this is great and all, but I want to talk about also later about your radio show, because I've been a guest on your radio show a couple times, and it's kind of like this, but with more music
and no video
but but as far as I've been looking at your site and what you do with your Pilates and how you help people, and me and B, we're also big fans of helping people in the small ways we can, by helping bring awareness to their thing or whatever they're doing, their location. Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
I looked at one of, I guess it was someone saying that how you help them with that. Now, could you explain? I mean, I hear that all the time. What exactly is fibromyalgia, and how do you help this person?
Fibromyalgia is a nerve syndrome where you get persistent pain. There isn't necessarily any damage to the area, but the nerve, I think the sheath on the nerve, the myelin sheath, is damaged, and so you feel persistent pain when there's even no stimulus, like, you just this sharp pain in your wrist or something, or the extremities usually, where there's no actual dysfunction. Nothing's broken or nothing's wrong, but you still have this persistent pain that keeps you from sleeping, keeps you from digesting correctly. And I had a woman come to me, Donna, and she was using a cane to walk around because her legs were so painful. And within 6 months, she had put the cane in the closet and forgot it was there, you know.
Okay, see, that's the kind of stories that me and B are just really attracted to.
Wow.
With all of the health practitioners, which there's so many, right? And you probably know about them more than we do, but acupuncturists, chiropractors, what else? The
Yoga, naturopath,
yeah,
osteopath.
and Pilates is like right in line, but it seems like that with the method that you learned and that you teach and that you help people with, is very in tune with the body and how it moves, and a lot of the biomechanics of how the muscles twist and turn and whatnot.
Well, Pilates was invented by a guy named Joseph Pilates, and he was the first person in the West to look at the body as an ensemble or a whole, as opposed to, you know, you work your biceps and your quads, and tomorrow we'll work your triceps and your pectorals. Yeah, go on, Logan. Watch. He's so excited he's watching his favorite show.
All right.
Sharing the love. And so his genius was to look at the way all the parts work together, especially the smaller helper muscles. We all know about the quads, the pecs, the biceps, but all the small muscles in and around the shoulders, the subscapularis, the infraspinatus, the teres minor, and so forth and so on, the supraspinatus.
Could I mention one?
Yeah.
Uppermost dorsi.
Okay, excellent.
Well, he just learned it this
Yes,
minutes
indeed.
ago.
The psoas attaches to the lesser trochanter of the femur. And so you get the whole ensemble working together, and you're much stronger than you are if you're just relying on one or two large muscles. You're much less prone to injury, and you're just at home in your body. But things like fibromyalgia, it's much more subtle. It's not a question of just making the body stronger. There's something wrong with the nervous system, which is essentially an electrical system. And one thing we do in Pilates is we arch the back, we curl the back, and we mobilize the spine. We do all this sitting, right? We sit in our car, we sit on the couch watching Netflix, we sit and we type on our computer, and the spine gets compressed, and all the muscles in and around it get tight so that you can't mobilize the spine, you know, like a good bachata dancer. And once you do that and things get stretched back out, then the spinal cord is decompressed and the electrical signals travel more efficiently and more quickly. And so you have a stronger signal, you get stronger muscle contractions, you get more frequent muscle contractions. And so you just sort of tune up the whole electrical system. And so that's sort of what I did for my friend Donna, and she got rid of her cane, and she's still walking without a cane.
You know what, that's awesome.
Yoga can do that kind of thing too.
No, okay.
True alignment, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking now my gears are spinning, and I've got a couple gears that are greased up pretty good and spin pretty well. Electrical system, right? The spine, and you mentioned that. But what about the hydraulic system of the human body?
Okay.
Would
The
that be
circulatory system.
Yeah, or
and the lymphatic system.
Lymphatic system.
Totally.
Okay, so how does that affect, and with the same movements or the same exercises, would that affect also the lymphatic system?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple ways you can work with the lymphatic system. One is just be in motion, like the body as you move, it moves things through the lymphatic system. You can also do lymphatic massage, where you sort of gently stroke and encourage the lymphatic system to drain. His mother had a fluid collecting in her extremities when he was born, and she got lymphatic massage like 4 times in 2 weeks and lost like 30 pounds of liquid weight. Wow. Because the massage helped drain the lymph out of her system, which her system couldn't do on its own in that moment. So all the movements in Pilates encourage that sort of thing. It encourages digestion. Same thing. If we don't move enough, then the intestines don't get the help they need from the movement to basically squeeze our poop through our intestines, and people get constipated. Then you have elimination issues. You got toxic buildup in your intestines and so forth.
Do you think all of this is due to modern man moving and different type of workload and not walking and not because we got cars and buses to take us around and we don't have to dig in the dirt anymore?
We don't have to dig in the dirt. We don't have to walk around looking for food. You know, you think about it. We were in hunter-gatherer foraging bands. Yeah. And you'd get up and you'd walk around. You'd go to the place where there was nuts and fruit, and then you'd rest and hang out. Then you'd go to the place where you caught a fish or something, or you hunt birds or something. And you were just always on the move in different positions, and you never sat like we sit in a chair. Yeah. We would squat, right? You're standing, squatting, lying down. Those are the 3 basic positions for the human body. Yeah. And so we sit in this unnatural position, and almost no one sits like this. Everybody sits like this. Or this. Yeah. And those last 2, the spine is
sitting
totally
is the worst
wrong
posture.
position.
Standing is the best, right?
You know what, man?
Well, standing is at least natural, you know?
The only thing I think the ancients, I always like to say that, the ancients.
Okay.
And, the ancients to me could just mean like back in the 50s.
We need a big gong, and every time you say the ancients, it goes.
The ancients. Oh, wait. What would be? Let's see. No, not that one.
There we go.
The
ancient
ancients.
Chinese
The
secrets. Calgon. Oh, detergent.
But they didn't have TV to chill. But what they did have was
Stars.
They gazed
the
at the
skies.
stars and they hung out in front of the fire.
Yeah, telling stories.
Yeah. So where am I going with this? I don't know. But it's okay. So
I'm gonna dive in on a quick one.
okay, go ahead, do it.
So the guy, the person I was gonna talk to you about, Dr. Mike,
Okay.
up in Makawao.
Okay.
You know who he is? You know who he is?
I've
He's a
heard.
chiropractic.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Shout out to him. And
What did he do for you?
Because I'm doing so much physical work every week, and so he just kind of like I don't know if I'm saying it right. Somatics.
Okay.
So he wrote a book and stuff like that. But he's been doing it for 42 years. He got like teachings up at practice at Sweden, Japan, Germany, and Maui. So he's here only for a couple months, but he kind of did some body work, and he's working on 3-4 people at a time. And just the way he worked my neck, it just opened up a whole central nervous system is totally beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you can think in terms of electricity with the nervous system, but also in a hydraulic sense, like a plumbing system.
Yeah.
And if you've got one main pipe where the water comes in
Yeah.
and it's clogged,
Yeah.
you get a lot less flow, and it's a trickle. There's not enough pressure for it to work right, and so he decompresses your
oh my
cervical
God,
spine,
it's
and everything starts to
unbelievable,
work
man.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so
Good.
no, I got like 2 bad rotator cuffs, but on this side, he said you don't need no surgery, what have you. But so every time he loosens my neck, this tightness in my shoulder is opening it up, and my range of motion is like crazy.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
so
Good. Movement is life.
Yeah.
Sitting still is installment on the death plan on the installment plan. And so the people get stuck. They're too sedentary, and then their body gets to where they can't move the way they should, and then they can't dig their way out of the hole. But you have somebody like a chiropractor help you out.
Yeah.
Acupuncture can help.
Yeah.
That usually comes like later in life when and everybody just kind of accepts it. It's like, man, I can't remember the last time I had to sprint.
Right.
Like the last time a dog chased me. That's usually things that happen to kids, right?
Or the mean big kid.
The dog's coming, run. And then if you did, you probably hurt something real bad. You
Pull
probably
my groin muscle or something.
or your Achilles or
Yeah.
or something, or it's like, hey, that's when you reach a certain age, and then those of us who yearn for a better physicality, like B, he's so in tune with reaching out and finding these people and these stretches and these things, and that's why we're so happy to have you on, because Pilates is something that I've always been interested in, and the method. You have a saying, doing right by my body.
Okay.
What does that mean to you?
You have to give your body its due. Otherwise, your body can't perform for you the way it was designed to work. Our bodies are amazing.
It is
Just an
man.
amazing
every day I'm
creation.
amazed of how the human body is.
People think there is no God, and they're not looking close enough and paying enough attention, right? Like a nice starry night, or looking at the human body.
Yeah.
So you have to do right by your body so it can take care of you and do all the things you want it to do.
Yeah.
So you got to move, you got to eat right, you have to prioritize sleep, like shut off the TV and go to bed, or shut off your iPad and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then you need to get out and do things you enjoy with people you care about. Those are some of my biggies. But kids are growing old before they've had a chance to grow up, because they're sitting around all day long on the screens. We would run around all day, every day, basically.
Okay.
You run around at school, you get home, your mom would be like, go outside, and then that would be it. You'd come inside, you'd eat dinner, and they'd send you back outside until it was dark. And now kids are on their screens all day, every day.
Yeah.
So their bodies never mature properly, and they never get as healthy as they should. They're full of allergies. They have digestive issues and all sorts of things. And so they're old before they've finished even growing up.
Like old, what do you mean by old? Like their body gets tainted, or the body gets degenerative?
I mean, it's a little bit of hyperbole, but the body just doesn't get to develop the way it should.
Right.
And so, if it develops correctly, you have this upward trajectory, right? And then in your 30s, it starts to like tail off, depending on how hard you work and so forth. And these kids are getting to like 15, and that's it. Like they go through puberty, and that burst of vitality is wasted because they're not cultivating it. They're not pushing themselves.
That's why I think we talked about it when I go to Costco and I see like kids are pushing their wagons. I mean, like, it's not a wagon anymore. It's like a flatbed. And they're like, oh yeah, man, they got like a ton of stuff. But when you look at a ton of stuff, then you start looking at the kids. But the parents they say just pile them on, man. Just let's go, man.
Oh, what are you saying? Being that the quality of the things?
Quality of the food they're eating.
Oh, the stuff
it's like the sugar,
corn chips,
the corn chips,
sugar,
the Pop-Tarts,
Pop-Tarts,
everything, man.
Empty calories.
But
no
then
nutrition.
you look at the kids, and the kids is not even 14, and they're pushing the carts. They're like 11 or 12, and they're huge.
Yep,
but bad.
Could you turn somebody around like that? Like, so a kid that's that grew up with that kind of thing, could you, like, and he's messed up, could
if they have the desire, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they're ready to do the work, for sure. You know, it's all a question of motivation. They generally say that the body you have when you finish puberty that's your body's baseline. So if you're a fat kid, then you could become a fit like adult, but if you slack off, your body goes back to that fat kid shape. Whereas if you were a fit kid and you gain some weight as an adult, it's easier for you to get back to the fit body because that's what your body remembers is its base state. So these kids who are like sedentary and fat and, you know, weak hearts, weak muscles, and bad skin, bad eyes, bad teeth because they didn't have enough nutrition growing up. The bones are not what they should be. Yeah. They can get fit, but it's much harder. It's an uphill battle because their body never remembers that state.
How does your method of now, is it your method or is it just a strict method of Pilates to help reduce weight or weight loss? How does that
work? The weight
work?
loss depends mostly on the eating habit.
Okay.
You know, Pilates is not a cardiovascular workout. It's a resistance and a stretching workout.
Okay.
You know, the three cardio, stretching, and resistance are the three legs of the stool of fitness. So I can take care of the stretching and the resistance part, and then people have to like do the cardio and change their diet. And it's not about like going on some restrictive diet. You want to change your relationship to food. So when
that's a good way to put it.
When you're thinking about Pop-Tarts, that's like an occasional treat. And your usual meal, my usual meal is giant piles of vegetables with animal protein on top.
9 out of 10 times, what are people coming to see you for?
They're coming because they have something that's keeping them from doing the things they love to do, whether it's a water sport or they love to hike or play tennis or golf. I get a lot of golfers because golf ruins your body. And so that's how a lot of people come to me.
Pain.
Yeah, pain or limitation.
Okay.
You know, like I'm so tired of not being able to blank.
Some of these exercises, I mean, I'm looking at this. Look at this.
Some of it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, look at this right here. Yeah. This person. They're it looks like they're doing push-ups, but with an added feature.
Instability.
Where you have to.
That's Alexis Descoulias, who used to run the EO Theater.
These pulleys and.
That's an exercise called long spinals that stretches the spine, hamstrings, glutes.
Oh, man.
And the beauty of the equipment is it guides you through the motion. You know, and it supports you with the spring resistance. You can see in the foreground there's springs, coil springs, and so it helps support you in the movement. So your body's not trying to do all the work by itself. As you get more skilled, we reduce the amount of assistance you're getting. So
you're doing it yourself
eventually.
So ultimately, the book that I'm going to have here.
Yep.
So once they pass that, then eventually they're supposed to be doing it on their own. The body's supposed to kind of record that in your brain to do it naturally.
Once you know how to do that motion, and you're strong enough, then you can do it without the help.
Right.
Although if you add extra resistance, and when you're rolling down against the resistance, then you get a stronger stretch through the hamstrings, the glutes, and the small muscles in the back, the spinal extensors. So the resistance can be used to challenge you or to help you, and it's just a question of which one you want to do. You know, yin yang.
So that's huge flexibility.
Okay.
I've always been tight as a kid.
Me too.
And always fantasized about. Remember when Jean-Claude Van Damme came out with Bloodsport and he did those flying kicks in a full-on split? I always wanted to be able to split, but I kind of came to grips like there's no way I'm going to be able to split.
Yeah, those scenes of him lying on the back with the vines tied to his legs and like.
Could you do that for me?
We could get started. Can we we'll tape it and we'll put it on, you know, when I come back. And here's me torturing Arlie's groin muscle. But like another exercise we do from that position is you bring the legs down the middle and you lay your back stays down and your legs, you draw the biggest circle you possibly can with your legs around and up. And so that's working some of that same mobility idea.
So that's kind of like your shoulders doing this.
Exactly.
But your legs.
Except, yep. So we stretch out, mobilizing the hips is a lot of what I do, because when you sit, your hips get tight, and when your hips get tight, your back gets tight, and then
everything,
it just travels. You know.
Okay, like in like a position like this, it looks like to me that's a bunch of things happening.
Yep.
A bunch of things.
So obviously we're working the arms and the shoulders.
Okay.
We're working balance.
Right.
She's got a little bit of a spring assist underneath her. That pedal she's standing on moves up and down.
Okay.
But you're using the abdominals to fold the body in half up into that jackknife position. Mm-hmm. And so when she gets all the way up, her body's in sort of an upside down V shape, and then you control it back down like so. So that's sort of agility. We call Joseph Pilates named this exercise, I think, Hamstring 3, which is such a boring name. So I changed the name to Circus Freak.
I like that.
Because you're doing a handstand upside down.
Yeah.
So hamstring strengthening, maybe?
You're stretching the hamstrings, you're working the abdominals, the core muscle, the transverse abdominis, the big girdle of muscle around the midsection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're strengthening the arms as well. And like I said, working the coordination and balance.
So something like this, how would you start someone on a program to like could somebody who's just been a couch potato for years?
Yeah. Right. Well, you start gentle. You start slow. I meet people where they are. Okay. So somebody comes in, it's like, oh, I was, a former Broadway dancer, or, I was like a semi-pro baseball player. Like, good, let's get to work.
Yeah.
But someone else comes in and says, I haven't done anything since I was 20, and they're 50. And I finally gotten tired of being sick and tired all the time. So we just start them super easy. And I mix a lot of assisted stretching in. We use the equipment to whatever, stretch like a shoulder joint or something like that. And so if they're really unfit, they're not capable of doing a full 50 minutes, then I'll make like at least half of it is stretching. So we do one exercise where they're exerting themselves, then we do a stretch for a minute, then we do an exercise and a stretch. And if you do it right, the human body responds really fast.
Isometric strength, because I got I love all different types of strength feats, but isometric strength is what is your thoughts, and what is your favorite?
I don't do a lot of isometric stuff.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts with isometric strength, though, instead of just some pumping, like kind of, but hybriding everything together? If you want to go like resistance, kettlebells, isometric strength. So
for me, one of the beauties of Pilates is the motions are dynamic.
Yeah.
So it's not a static posture.
Yeah.
And so isometrics, they're good as far as they go, but because they don't employ a dynamic range of motion, they're less useful.
Right.
But if you have somebody who has a limited range of motion or trouble coordinating, then isometrics can be useful to start, like sort of the poo-poo to get you to the main course, where you have someone moving through a full range of motion. That's one of the things in Pilates when you work the arm. You'll see guys doing the little Popeye curls at the gym because they want the giant round muscle.
Yeah.
But if you want a lean muscle that is hugged down close to the bone, you work that bicep through the whole range of motion.
Those are funny.
So just being like this, I'm working the biceps, but it's not functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why, because you remember back in the day when we was all studying like Mike Manser and Casey Viatar and all this Arthur Jones that devised and all these machines, but everything was about a reverse, like a negative rep, no concentric, was all just
eccentric.
Eccentric.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty cool. But there's no like lactic acid really build up.
Right.
But it's a different type of reverse. It's strength. Like I just call it reverse strength because you got to be kind of pushing upwards while you're lowering it the weight, not to contract. It's interesting.
I'll mix in some eccentric reps when I'm doing curls at the gym.
Like
you lift it up and then you slowly and you're like, it's good to mix it up. It's kind of like cross training.
Right.
If you're a runner, get on a bike.
Yeah.
If you're a swimmer, get on a bike. And so forth. So to do the regular type curls and then to do negatives, are good. So to mix it up is good. I was going to say there's two schools of Pilates. One is called classic and one's contemporary. And when Joseph Pilates died, there was sort of two schools of thought, and they sort of had a schism. And classic means they only teach what Joe taught, and no one adds anything new. And then contemporary is we teach what he taught, and we keep learning, and we keep like coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
The sock.
I mean, you've done what, over 2 decades of this, right? Of
Yeah.
actually helping people.
Yep.
Or like, what have you noticed to come up with your own like idea of what this is and how you can better help people in whatever situation they're
People get stuck in the form. Like I need to do this and do this because that's the way we do it. Boom, boom, boom. And my revelation, it's not some earth-shaking thing, was the role of the Pilates is to encourage the people to move in any way they can or will and get them excited about it and figure out how the equipment and the method can help them immediately so that they get excited and they stick with it and then they build on their strengths. And I had 2 ladies who just came in and they're just starting and they're super stoked about it. And I'm doing very different things with them than I do with somebody else who comes in with a different issue or a different level of ability. And so it's all, that's why I call it serious fun. Like I'm going to make it engaging, but we're getting serious things done at the same time.
It's like a custom workout for each person.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it is, man. It's like a private class for each person.
Yep.
Because everybody's got a different build. And the mobility.
Different needs.
Different needs.
Different
some guys not as athletic.
For sure.
Oh.
And that's what keeps me from getting bored. I've taught between 20 and 25,000 hours now at this point. And people are like, doesn't it get boring? I'm like, never.
Never. Exactly.
Every hour is different.
How could it get boring, right?
So
Everybody's
health is not boring. It's fun, man.
I help
the way I
people
look at
and
it,
they
man.
give me money to do it.
Yeah. I mean, being healthy is fun. Being unhealthy is not fun.
And when you get to old age, like I just turned 56, you start to understand it's not something you do on this day and that day. It's something you do every day.
Exactly.
Or you're not going to, I'm going to be 70 when he finishes high school.
Wow.
I can't wait for the first visit to the PTA meeting where they're like, "Oh, it's so nice that his tutu came," And but I grew up exercising and I enjoy it and I like sharing it with people. And so 6 days a week I'm at my studio sharing that pleasure with people and helping them improve their lives. And like I said, they give me money, and what could be better than that? So I'm very fortunate that I found this work. I'm really grateful.
Oh man, you know what? And
passionate. That's it. You got passion. Everything is possible.
I'm passionate about people, and so this is just one way that I indulge that.
Yeah.
I'm dedicated to improve my situation, improve my flexibility. And
You have to come, man.
Oh.
I thought he was there.
No, he's doing his business again. He's on a roll.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It scared me.
Did you have to use the restroom?
No, I can't.
Can you hold it?
I can just do it.
He won't be long.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, we got the 5-gallon bucket.
Here.
I can put it in a RiFF cup, man. Come on. No, but seriously speaking, it's like I think, like earlier we talked about it. It's like the hardest workout is this being the consistency for the rest of your life.
That
is the key, because if you're not consistent, then all the talk is like, sometimes it's like you shouldn't even, it's like, we can say consistency is the key, man.
Well, if you're gonna exercise and you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna get in shape, consistency is a key. You're 100%.
Yeah, I mean, in anything, martial arts, if you're gonna be a diver, if you're gonna musician, I mean, there's consistency.
Yeah.
You cannot go around it, man.
Once you get rolling, you get excited about it, and it develops its own momentum. It takes on a life of its own.
But you remember when you talked to my friend? I'm not gonna mention his name, but
Okay.
you know what I mean, for like the intermittent, fasting and stuff like that. So we all want to try to help out each other, right?
Yes.
So the thing
Suggestions,
is,
right?
because if you're gonna look at him as like, he's wow, you lost 30 pounds.
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Right.
But he has mindset.
Right.
If you don't have the mindset, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Straight up, right off the bat.
Doesn't matter the
method.
method.
No matter
the
the method
isn't there.
Yeah. If you told, Brian, man, we get you stronger. Okay. I'm not going to train then forever. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you got to train. It's got to start from within. Just the bottom line.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Basically, you're saying that if you don't,
you got to make that choice.
If you don't choose as an individual,
because 20 years from now, we're all going to be in our 70s, and I don't want to be like
decrepit.
I don't want to be like that, man.
We'll take a look. Okay, so these 2 people here.
Look at that.
The one on the right is in her late 70s.
Good for her.
And this one, I can't remember who that is.
Going back to what you're saying, you got to do it, right?
Yeah.
So these
people,
people,
right there. I mean, just to see this lady.
Yeah, they're doing it, right? They're doing it
like this. Yeah. Just to see that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Some people don't wake up and say, "Oh, I want to grab a stick. I want to pull myself up." They don't do that.
Okay. Well, I'm stoked about that, and you know, once again,
So I get excited with this
No,
kind of
it's
stuff,
okay.
man.
yeah.
We all do.
So I want to talk about serious fun fitness. It's just Tim McCollum, but I know you as my good friend Duncan Mack from the
Manao Radio.
from Manao, and also Maui Chinese Martial Arts Academy.
Correct. Can't wait to get back to that.
Yeah, I mean, you've been very diligent and just pulling the troops along, the Lahaina troops,
Keeping that class alive. Yeah.
keeping the Tai Chi going, the Lam Sifu short Tai Chi set, and I think that's so awesome.
The class is growing.
That's great, and I love it. And with our Sifu Stephen Karugal, would be very, very proud and happy to know that. And you know that Sifu Lam, Steve, or Sifu Karugal, they weren't here to experience what's going down and what went down. And I always think of like, what would they have to say?
Well, the first thing Steve would say is go practice.
Yeah,
Oh, there's no class this week. Go practice.
absolutely.
That was his ancient Chinese secret. Practice.
Yeah.
And I have a big picture of him in my Pilates studio on the wall.
Uh-huh.
And so I look at it every day, 6 days a week when I'm there. And he always reminds me to stay disciplined, to respect myself and the art
Yeah.
by being consistent about it. And it's part of like the Tao, it's all about being in harmony. It's being in harmony with the flow of things. And part of that is cultivating the health of your body.
Yeah. And you're doing it. You're bringing just bringing everybody along, and so a lot of guys from the Lahaina side showing up all the time, and you got some new faces.
Just a few people from the old class, but
Yeah.
new faces. We have people who come every week from Kula.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that's great, man.
They can't wait for Tuesday to start back up because they'll come to that class too.
Going out there and doing that on top of your Manao Radio show, on top of your serious fun Pilates. How's give us a little kind of what goes on, like if you were there, like what happens?
Just real quick, Sifu used to say, a true master, you have martial art, you have poetry, you have music, you have medicine, and what's the other thing? Calligraphy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I've got the Tai Chi and I've got the music with Manao Radio, and I do after the first hour of my show each week, I read like somewhere between a 4 and 6 page written piece about whatever's on my mind. So that's my version of the poetry.
Yeah.
So I just need to get some calligraphy going.
That's awesome.
The scholarly
medicine.
warrior. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and the healing. Yeah.
Just trying to be a fully realized human being, and find other people who are on that same sort of path to encourage, so we can encourage each other. But Manao Radio is great because we have full creative freedom. And so you can bring whatever kind of music you want to bring. And
I noticed that.
I get around in my musical selections quite a bit. And it really, I think people are heartened for any sort of experience that feels authentically human these days, especially right now with the lockdowns and all the isolation people were suffering from.
Yeah.
To listen to a radio station where the DJ is on air live.
And talking to you.
Yeah.
Talking to you, making mistakes, queuing up the wrong song, whatever. It's not all computer perfect, and it's not all decided by a focus group or an algorithm or whatever. Like we play Led Zeppelin every 42 minutes. We play Ozzy every hour and 10 minutes. And it's just, it's random and it's human, it's analog, and it's authentic. It's authentic. And that's another big one with any sort of Taoism is you strip away the artifice. And you strip away the artifice and the human think, and you just get down to the essential nature of what's authentic, and then embody that. And just, get out of the way, let your breath lead, this sort of thing. Get the thinky monkey mind shut down.
Yeah.
So all those things that I do are all part and parcel of the same idea. I just want to live an authentic human life, and there's so few places you can do that anymore. That's one of the reasons I came to Maui. I've been so fortunate to be here during this whole crisis, because I have friends on the mainland who are broke. Like this broke them psychologically. The isolation, being in their apartment in New York City for like 6 straight months alone.
Wow.
They have PTSD big time, and you can't talk to them about it at all. because they're like, I see you on Facebook at the beach, you know.
Wow.
And it's like, so I'm not going to apologize for my life, but I feel so personally fortunate that that I was here during that time.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the things that you mentioned about how everything kind of goes like this, your thought process, your belief in you know, breath, the body, and then on top of that, relationships, you know, with the people you're helping, because it's like if you reach out your hand, you know, you're helping somebody. I mean, isn't that like the kind of coolest thing you could do?
Well, and when I teach these classes on Wednesday, and I am not anywhere near a master. I am barely I'm barely out of the embarrassing stage of Tai Chi study, but I know the set by heart. And so I can just lead everyone through the set and make small corrections. And so they're always so grateful that I'm there, and I'm grateful to them because I get to show up, and it's important for human beings to have an opportunity to care for other people.
Not only
so
that,
that your heart energy come into action and to give.
Speaking of energy, you got more people, then that's the more energy, right? So you got like 3 people, that's good energy. But when you got a room or a group of people doing the same thing, man,
magic.
I mean, without knowing what magic is, that's pretty much it.
But we say that word and we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the opportunity to give, and you know, people say it's a cliche to give aloha to get aloha. It's not a cliche.
No,
it's
the
real.
Stone cold truth.
Yeah.
And just the more I give away, the embarrassing riches that just come raining down, and then there's too much for me, so I just give more away, and more comes in, and so it's an immensely gratifying way to live, and it's a good lesson for me every day.
How's Tai Chi impacted your life in a positive way? Tai Chi, learning Tai Chi and doing it, and also sharing it with others.
It slowed me down. You know, I came out of New York. You know, hey, how are you? How you doing, man? And Sifu used to say, like, you're so stiff, softer. You're so slow down. You know, you're like Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, he used to call you Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein monster. You're like one Frankenstein monster. So stiff. So it's helped me be softer, and like I'm burly. I'm not soft and supple. But you know, the Tai Chi, like you do it long enough, and your body, you can fool yourself into being softer and being slower.
Yeah.
And just the big thing though is learning how to be in the flow, and because you can't force Tai Chi, it has to come from the very center. And yet, like I said, you have to get out of your way and stop thinking about it and feel the energy move. That circular energy. The limu, as Sifu used to say.
He used to call it the limu.
Yeah.
So
like
you know,
that.
knowing how Sifu would, you know, he was really good with his kung fu.
Yeah.
But as he I've seen him over the years lean more towards Tai Chi. I like to think that Tai Chi is more for cultivation than self-defense.
I mean, Sun Tzu says you win the war by having the war be over before the enemy knows there's a fight on, right? So it works the other way. If you can see somebody's trying to pick a fight with you, and you can see it coming before it gets to the place, then you evade it, you get out of the way, you do something else.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the longer you practice the Qigong and the Tai Chi, the more Qi energy you embody, and you just have the presence, or mana, as the Hawaiians would say. And people, you know, I guess there might be some people who would try to challenge you on that basis, you know, like they want to be the baddest cowboy. But if you're walking around like a bad cowboy, you're probably not cultivating Qi the right way.
Yeah.
Right? The masters are the ones you don't notice. So I'm just trusting the method, and I have so far to go that, you know, the idea that I have enough mastery to hang my hat on a fight, it's just absurd, you know. So if it came down to a fight, I'd probably try to grapple them to the ground and use my weight against them, you know, because that's the gift that God gave me.
Right.
As opposed to
Physicality.
quick punch or something like that.
Right.
But like I said, hopefully I never find out.
Well, that's good, because that's the way of the wise, right?
Right.
Sometimes living the way of the wise is the hardest thing to do.
In this dumb world, every day. Have you guys sort of noticed that? Like, especially, it seems like especially the mainland gets dumber and weirder all the time.
Yeah.
Like they've lost their ever-loving minds.
And Hawaii gets smarter. Everybody else gets stupider.
It seems wiser and wiser all the time. Like, just live close to the Aina and, you know, live in harmony with your fellow people.
Are you talking about, like, are you watching the news on TV?
No, but
Okay.
I read a lot online
okay.
about what's going on, and it's just absurd. Like the attitudes and the stories that everyone takes at face value. It's like, oh, come on.
News, man.
I'm
You
afraid
used to be so smart.
I'm afraid to like when my wife goes, "Did you hear?" I go, "Please don't tell me,"
Yeah.
because just the tone of you saying that.
Daddy doesn't want to know.
Yeah. Did you hear what's going on in so and so?
I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
I was like, please don't tell me. I mean, I'm like, please don't tell me. No, really.
My
I don't
girlfriend
wanna
and I
know.
have a
Yeah.
new rule between from the time dinner starts until after breakfast. We do not talk about what's going on out in the world.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, because
That's superb.
we'd be lying in bed like, and then I heard about this
Yeah,
thing, and you're
exactly.
like lying in the dark like, "Ugh."
If it's negative, don't tell me.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you don't have nothing going in your body. That's it.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
Okay, well, we're on all agreement on that. So, I want to Manao Radio station.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about their? Didn't they have like a grand like so many year like anniversary or something?
It was 19th anniversary last month.
19th
Yep.
anniversary.
And we couldn't have a party, so next year 20th anniversary big party
Okay.
in
I-
March.
I'd like
Mark
to
your calendars.
I like to volunteer. If you guys do have a party, if you guys have it outside or at a hotel ballroom or like,
We usually do the VFW post in Kihei.
I want to play it, man.
Okay, that'll be awesome.
So I'd like to do my ukulele thing, and then I want to get my band, the Fun Loving Infidels,
Please.
to play some rock. And shout out to my Fun Loving Infidel brothers, my rock band. We're gonna play. We like to play Van Halen, Police,
Okay.
Billy Idol, all
Hey,
that stuff
We'll
from
get you in.
when I was
From
in
the
high
day.
school. Yeah, back in the day.
When all the cool kids grew up.
Yeah. When I had a what do you call those? A mullet and a little.
Little tail.
Yeah.
Little ducktail, yeah. No, but not radio. Like, it was a bunch of crazy hippies out in Haiku who were like, what if we had our own radio station, man? We could play all the cool music. And so they started in somebody's spare bedroom. Kathy Collins and
Yeah.
Barry.
Kathy
cool,
Collins
man.
started it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She and her husband, who's rest in
Yep.
peace, they started it in their spare bedroom.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. Kathy was on our show.
Yeah.
And we never talked about that.
Yeah, because her and Barry started that Manao company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
How do you start a radio station?
you got to file. Well, there's like ultra low power stations are fairly easy to start, like a tenth of a megawatt, but it's only got a range of like 10 miles. But they were just doing it for them and all their friends in Haiku. They're like, radio sucks, man.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't have cable out, at the end of the road up in Five Corners, so they started their own radio station.
So
Their friends were the DJs.
That's cool, man.
so Kathy Collins was the originator of Manao Radio Station.
She was the co-founder.
Yeah.
So
that nice voice.
What is she doing now for the Manao?
She's not affiliated with Manao anymore.
How come?
I think at some point she was like, okay, I'm over it.
So
DJs
she doesn't even have like her own little section.
Nope.
Oh, that's crazy.
She's got so many other things she has going on. She's always doing voiceover stuff for KAOI and KEWE, The Spirit, like the Hawaiiana station.
AB, we got to get Kathy back. She didn't even tell us anything about that. She was talking about like
She played ghosts.
a different part of her life where she was telling ghost stories at hotels.
You could probably have her on 10 weeks in a row
She
and she
got-
wouldn't run out of stories.
Yeah, well, she got just
She's a
many
very
hats.
interesting
yeah,
person.
Yeah,
Kathy, we love you,
many
Kathy.
hats.
Many,
you know
many
what?
lifetimes she's lived.
And yeah, she's out of the box.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but okay.
So,
go on.
they started 19 years ago, and eventually they went legit, like a full power station that's approved by the FCC, and there's all this compliance stuff. And we have volunteers who handle the accounting and the engineering to make the technical stuff work and the compliance stuff. And then there's like almost 50 unique DJ shows a week.
50.
Almost 50, yeah. Because we're on from 6 a.m. to midnight, 6 days a week, and from I think 24 hours over Saturday night, we're on all night into Sunday.
So who takes like okay, so I know your show very
Yep.
well,
Yep, down deep.
Down Deep, but if there's 50,
Yeah.
that's crazy,
There's
man.
something for everybody. We Monday 5 to 8 p.m. Jeremy Jarvis does like urban contemporary, like hip hop and that sort of thing. But he does positive stuff. He doesn't do the drugs, guns, hoes, money
Right.
stuff. There's 2 different blues shows every week. Sweet Mama D and Alan Sheps do blues shows. We have women who do women singer-songwritery things. We have someone who does a techno show.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of rock and roll shows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows like, all right, so here's a cut from Monterey 72 with the Stones, man. I was at the show. It was awesome.
Is there
But-
anybody doing stuff that's like unknown musicians and unknown music.
Oh, absolutely. What's his name? DJ Stealth, and it escapes me what time he's on. I think it's Wednesday 10 to 2, maybe. And he just plays all this music. You're like, what is this?
Where did it come from?
Ridiculous. So always interesting way to find new music is to listen to Manao Radio.
Awesome.
And then on Tuesdays from 5 to 8, we have Jerry Valdriz, who's a steel guitar guy, and he plays all kinds of Hawaiiana. He plays like the Hawaiiana that's probably on like a 33 record from the 50s.
Wow.
You know, and he like takes it out like, you know, like very carefully, very careful.
Jerry,
it's only been
mahalo,
played
Jerry,
5
for
times
doing
in
that.
20 years.
Wow, that is so cool.
So he keeps a lot of the culture and the folklore around the stuff, the classic scene from Honolulu in the 50s and 60s.
Awesome.
Alive. He has lots of great stories to tell.
Okay, guys,
really great show.
Yeah, guys, check this out. Manao Radio doing great things. You said you don't really have guests a lot, but you invited me a couple times to like
Every
talk.
time you got a new album.
Yeah, every time I got a new album.
We have your album drop party on my show every time. Right now we can't have any guests at all because of the COVID, of course.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm on at 5 o'clock on Friday, so Pauhana Friday. So from 5 to 6 I play party and dance music.
Okay.
And then from 6 o'clock I do my little chat, like whatever's on my mind. Like yesterday, the idea, what was the theme? Loss and failure is the foundation of success and happiness. You know, so we explored that. And then from 6 to 7 is kind of anything goes, mid-tempo stuff. And then from 7 to 8, I play mellow music until like by 7:45, we're all lying on the floor in the dark like,
Wow. Right.
or as I say, we slide into the weekend, man.
Could you give everybody the numbers to dial in on our
It's
radio?
91.7 FM.
91.7.
And manaoradio.com on the internet. And you can play shows on demand anytime. Everybody's shows are archived for 2 weeks. So you could go there and play my last 2 shows or the last 2 blues shows or whatever at manaoradio.com for free.
When can we expect... I want to be on your show, man.
Yeah.
Again.
When's your new album?
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
All right. Well,
and
I think one or two things is about to happen. Either we're going to get this 4th wave, whether it's legit or not, and they're going to shut everything back down again this summer, or we're about to see like everyone just like, you know what? It's over.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing a mask. I'm having all my homies over, and we're gonna have a giant barbecue, and we're gonna hug each other, and we're gonna get 12 of us per car and go down to the beach. So as soon as we get to that second scenario where we're all allowed to just live life like human beings again, then I want you on my show as soon as that
Duncan,
happens.
what's your take on the shot before we sign off here?
The shot?
Yeah.
You couldn't pay me.
I agree.
No. Actually, my fee for participating in a stage 2 vaccine trial is $50,000 payable in Bitcoin. So as soon as you get that in my bank account, I'll roll my sleeve up, and you can hit me with that poison.
Hey, hold on. Who's this? Who's this like fine-looking gent?
This is my junior partner, Mr. Logan. Logan, say hi.
Logan, can you say hi?
Uncle.
Hey,
all right.
Logan.
Say hi, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie.
Logan, you know you smell like chicken?
Yes.
Are you eating chicken?
Yes.
Did you play backup guitar for Van Halen?
Yes.
All
Did you
right.
study Jeet Kune Do with Bruce Lee?
Yes.
All right. My little man.
Perfect.
Yes.
Hey, Logan, I got a question for you. Logan, over here. Hello.
Hello.
Do you enjoy going to the beach and jumping in the ocean?
Yes.
Could you expound? What do you like about being at the beach? What do you enjoy about being at the beach?
But I'm Logan, and I'm 8, and I got my for my birthday. Now I get for my niece.
I don't think you're 8. You're pushing it.
Logan, how many eggs are you going to find at the Easter egg hunt tomorrow?
100.
All right.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Logan.
hey, I want to say, there's a lot more things that we want to talk about. I think this is a pretty good.
That's the ukulele thing they wanted to hear in the beginning. That's it.
Finally, satisfaction from my man Brian.
All right.
Can you come back and bring your Chapman stick next time?
Any day, man. Anytime.
We were talking to Mike earlier,
Yeah.
and he says that he repairs those things. He had people come with him, but you haven't seen it.
No, I seen it before though.
Okay, you gotta see Brian's 8-string guitar.
Oh, 7-string.
Yeah, baby. Huh?
Yeah, 7-string.
Oh, 7. Sorry.
Yeah. I gotta fly though, man. Sorry, man. I got like 5 more minutes. I gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's why
So,
it's-
anyways,
that's so good that you got the music going on, man.
so mahalo.
Thanks so much.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you.
having me,
All
man.
right.
All right,
What's
my
up?
brothers.
Aloha.
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 Thanks. Love you, mom.
The riff. Woo.
coffee.
We had paella big coffee, had some really strong espresso, and then we had a little curry excursion at what's the name of that place?
Oh, Cafe des Amis.
Oh, man, I can't even pronounce that. And now looks like we're headed towards
tailgating this.
We're going to somewhere.